afternoon and welcome to the Entertainment Plaza Games, where once a week, every week, we try to give you what is hip and happening in the gaming community. My name is Brian, and I'm accompanied by my brother from another Moses. How you doing?
What's going on, people? I am doing good. It's been a while. It's been 10 days since we did some gaming news, but we didn't miss the week. We just did a couple days later. But yeah, I'm excited, man. We got a lot of good news. As always, we got some Pokemon news and you know what? A lot of PlayStation news today. So I'm excited to get started and let's do it.
All right. So, as always, if you can't catch the stream live, we will be on YouTube after the fact. When we are finished here, anywhere between an hour to 2 hours. And if we can't, sometime in the morning, the video will go up. We are also on any and every podcast service, just in case you don't want to watch a video or can't catch it in any event. We're on Spotify, Google Podcast, you name it, we're there.
That's right.
But without further ado, let's go ahead and get on to story number one in the Plaza Report. And the first one is going to start off with Pokemon.
You know it.
So, as you guys know, last week I did speak about Pokemon Home. This is what this story is going to be centralized around. The update was going to come out giving us the rundown on Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl and Arceus finally coming to home. Unfortunately, there was a really, really bad mishap that happened around 7 or 8 days ago when the update did drop.
That's not good.
Um, yeah, when opening the game, there was an error message that popped up saying, "Oh, okay, that an error has occurred." Returning to title screen, the error code was 10015. This screen basically means that an accidentally illegal labeled Pokemon was found in the game, which may not be the cause for every user. The issue behind it was that some of these Pokemon could come from Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon that were, how do you say, like event type Pokemon or shiny Pokemon that you can't get through normal means, and that they were only available once, and that was it.
That's interesting.
Um, yeah, this seems to be the fault of the company ILCA, the same people that made Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And the issues aren't much new to this company when it comes to home. They've had a lot of issues that addressed updates and things that had to do with illegal Pokemon in the game. They were accidentally banning people for like illegal stuff when in all reality it never actually happened. This is just another step in their mishaps, and unfortunately it's really showing their unprofessionalism when they're going through with these updates because they have consistently not fixed their mistakes. So, after said fact, the Pokemon Company updated a forum that had been up for a really long time that addresses Pokemon gained from unauthorized means. That would mean hacking Pokemon,
Mm.
um, copying Pokemon through like a glitch method or something like that. The response was if altered data Pokemon were found in home, certain players can receive penalties. The penalties include restriction of online play, specifically in Sword and Shield, restriction of trading features in the mobile version of Pokemon Home, or suspension of both Switch and mobile versions of Pokemon Home. So if you were to ever, do anything bad or, hack Pokemon over currently,
Right.
there is a chance that you can lose your account privileges to Home on either device, phone
Wow.
or Switch.
That's
Yeah, it
just,
was a
I mean,
pretty.
that's look, man, I'm sorry to cut you off, but
You're
that's too
good.
much. That's too much. Like it's
Yeah,
a damn game. You know what I mean? I get it. Pokemon is great, and it's renowned around the world. And no, do we want hackers? Absolutely not. But this is not hurting anyone. You know what I
right.
mean? It's not like this is I don't know, let's just say Call of Duty or Halo or a competitive game, where if I go in to play someone, if they're cheating, I have no chance. You know what I mean? Or I'm not
Yep.
going to be able to get a kill or whatever it may be. That's not going to happen with Pokemon. You know what I mean? It's who cares
Yeah,
if you're cheating and having all the Pokemon in an illegal way. Like, first of all, they're allowing this. If you don't want it to happen,
right,
don't allow it to happen. So the fact
exactly.
that they're actually willing to like suspend or ban and you lose everything you spent hours trying to collect, that's BS in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. I mean, it comes down to they have already implemented restrictions for online play. And I can 100% agree with the online play restriction because there is a competitive aspect to Pokemon. You
Oh, is
can
there?
get online. Yeah, you
Oh,
can get
okay.
online. You can do ranked battles and stuff like that. There's also like the global Pokemon tournaments and stuff like that where I mean people can, win big bucks by doing these tournaments. Now, it's not much heard of. It's not covered, as much, but
Right.
they're still a thing. Um,
Well, I
and
guess in
when
that case, then that's different. Yeah, if there is like
right,
tournaments and money and prizes on the line, then yeah, go ahead and ban those people. Who cares?
right, yeah,
I
there's
changed my
there's
stance.
yeah, they've already had things implemented to stop that before
Okay.
any of this had come out already because there were times where even I would just try to do a casual battle with one of my friends and I was like I'm just gonna totally destroy his team with a whole team of hack legendaries that I have. You would go
Right.
to pick them and it would say there's a problem with this Pokemon, you cannot enter it in the battle, but you couldn't
Okay.
even use it. So they restricted you from using illegal Pokemon beforehand.
Well, then they just
Now,
need to keep doing that. It's no
right,
point in banning people if they want to have that
exactly.
Pokemon in their bank or whatever it may be called. All right, let them have it. But if they want to try and use it in a competitive aspect, then just don't let them do it. And if they keep
Right.
trying, give a warning, whatever it may be, second warning, third strike, and that's it. They're gone.
Yep. Yeah, so when that little response or the update to the forum did come out, which was I also believe a couple days ago, it's not like they were cracking down huge on it right away. This was just a
Right.
real quick look, this is what's going to happen, so make sure that you guys are looking out prepared for it. And in my case, that's actually good because I did get the error 10015 and in my case there would actually be an illegal Pokemon in home for me.
So, wait a minute. Am I going to have to snitch you out?
Look. They fixed the issue. I'm okay for now. I'm okay
So,
for
did
now.
you obtain an illegal Pokemon? Is the question.
I did a
Wow.
while
You know
back.
what? All right, people. We're 8 minutes and 16 seconds into this podcast. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to end it here because I didn't know that my brother was a criminal. And quite frank, you know what? I'm gonna take it
Okay.
back to.
Oh,
I'm gonna
he's
take it
calling
back
an
to
open record.
2005. I'm calling 911. Hello, police.
Oh,
Remember that when you
great.
used to be scared, you
Now we
used to
got
cry when I
yeah.
used to say that. Anyways, damn, you're a
Yup.
criminal, a smooth
Yeah,
criminal, but a criminal nonetheless.
I have I think two or three shiny Pokemon that aren't obtainable whatsoever. I got these.
What?
Um,
Hold on,
okay,
hold on,
so let me
hold
let
on.
me.
So you have two or three Pokemon that are not obtainable whatsoever, but you have managed to obtain them.
So let me reiterate that they are obtainable through hacked means. Most people don't have them. So in this case, I have the new Pokemon. It's Gigantamax Shiny Melmetal. It's not supposed to come like that. You get a little you get a Melmetal through Sword and Shield, and you
Okay.
can get it Gigantamax regular. In
Okay.
Pokemon Go, you can get a shiny Melmetal, but you can't get the shiny Melmetal in Sword and Shield.
Okay.
So through hacked means, I have a shiny Gigantamax metal. You can't get that in the regular game. You can't breed it. If you
So you
manage to
you
breed one,
so that you can't get that Pokemon in any Pokemon game.
not at all, because it was an event. There was only one event in Sword and Shield that you could get this Melmetal.
Okay, so it
There
is
was only
obtainable.
Right.
But you
If
had
you
to do it
don't,
during that event.
right, but it won't
Got
come
you.
shiny. It
Oh,
won't come shiny whatsoever. The only way you can get it shiny is by catching a Meltan um in Pokemon Go during the said event. You can't catch
okay.
Meltan
So
anymore either.
my question though, yeah. So you can't catch Meltan now, right?
Right.
My question is, at one point in time in history, it was possible to get this Pokemon that you have legally.
The full version, no, because the Melmetal or the Meltan that you
Okay.
would catch in Pokemon Go comes shiny. You
Okay.
can't find the shiny version in Shield at all.
Okay.
It's impossible to
So how
get
does
the
this
shiny
exist?
version.
So this is just a Pokemon that somebody made up.
So through do you remember Game Sharks?
Yeah. I have
Okay, so
got one right here, Papo. I got one right
yeah,
here. Do you
yeah,
remember Game Shark?
yeah,
She.
I remember. I used to use them a lot for my old Pokemon games. So to get this
Damn, so
one,
you've
you
been
would
a
have to
criminal since
alter
2001.
yeah,
Sheesh.
you'd have to alter the code, basically. So to get it, I would have to say, all right, this is what I want. To get a Gigantamax Pokemon in Sword and Shield, you have to give it the Dynamax soup. When you transfer your shiny Pokemon Meltan from Go, you can no longer give it the soup. It will forbid you from giving it the soup whatsoever. So you can't get the Gigantamax form, and
Gotcha.
vice versa. So to be able to obtain it, you have to hack it.
Right, but
That's
that's
the
what I'm
only way
saying.
you get
So
it.
that's what I'm saying. So this this Pokemon does not exist.
Right. It does. That's why it's illegal.
Right. So
It
like
just
this Pokemon is not necessarily like in any of the lore, like in the anime or any of the games or the cards. Does this Pokemon exist?
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Just
So it is an actual Pokemon.
it's an
It,
actual Pokemon,
in the way you're saying it.
right, but a shiny Gigantamax, this specific one is not. You can't get it whatsoever.
In
You
any
could get it,
form, whether it's anime, cards, or game.
I believe so. As far as it's not in the cards. The Pokemon's in the anime, but it's not shiny.
That's what I'm saying. So this Pokemon essentially is a made up Pokemon. Like it doesn't
Basically,
exist. Yeah.
right.
Okay, I got you.
So it's a special type. You can get it
Okay.
Gigantamax in one
Right.
game. You can get it shiny in the other. You can't get them both.
Okay,
So
I
you have
got
to
you.
hack it.
So you
Um,
have this Pokemon,
right. And I
and
have it stored in home.
but you can't use it.
I can't if I try to move it from home,
Yeah.
I'll probably get flagged.
Don't
If
ever
I
move
try
it
to
from
use it
home.
anywhere, yeah, I'm not. I can't do anything with it whatsoever.
You better
So
just
it
bring
just
that
stays in
up.
home.
Like next time you're on a date, just bring it up on your phone. Be like, hey girl,
Hey,
I don't know if you
you
knew
all
this,
right,
but
right?
I have a shiny Gigantamax, and she can be like, you got a shiny giant what? And then be like, no no
Yeah.
no. Then you pull out your phone and be like, it's a Pokemon.
Maybe hey baby,
Guaranteed,
you got my
guaranteed,
out here. Yep.
guaranteed. She'll fall in love at
So
first. Gigantamax.
that sounds kind of
I'm just saying.
erotic. Anyways, so I do have like two others that are just like that one that, if I were to move them out of home,
Mm-hmm.
my account would get flagged.
Gotcha.
Now, normal people have just gotten this through, having Pokemons from certain events that only happened in a certain game.
Okay.
So for compensation to that, there was another update that came out, 2.0.1, that fixed everything. It went live yesterday, and they had said before that they were hoping to get an update out by the end of the month, but almost immediately they were just like, "We're getting this out way sooner than anybody thought." It fixed the issue mentioned above, the 10015 error display code. Um, and what they ended up doing was, for the people that don't have Pokemon Home, the premium plan, they got 10 free days of premium. So you could do whatever the heck you want, extra trades, use all the features in Pokemon Home for 10 free days.
Okay.
If you already have premium, they add the 10 free days on so you don't get billed until those 10 free days are actually up. So it
Gotcha.
extends that billing cycle. Um, Now, the mystery gifts, I believe that I mentioned beforehand in our last video. If you guys haven't seen that, go back, watch that. There was also a lot more information regarding this there. But the six mystery gifts, if you traded from Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl and Arceus, you can only get via Pokemon Home mobile. It's a tedious little, way to go about it.
Yeah.
But I guess since the app and the Switch version are vastly different, they decided to go with the app. Um, Basically, you just connect Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl to home. So it says what game do you want to trade to or transfer to. You just hit the game, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, whatever it is. It'll connect it. It'll show you your Pokemon in the boxes. You'll get your six mystery, your three starter Pokemon. Then in the mobile version, you get it by mystery gift. Same thing with Arceus. You connect it to home. And once it's connected to home, you go back to the mobile app and then you collect the three mystery gifts on the mobile app. From there,
Okay.
then you can go back onto your Switch and you can move them as you like because they're going to be in your home box. The Arceus ones are perfect EVs, effort levels. They're level 10 everything from the start. So attack, speed, everything is maxed out. For the Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond, they come with hidden abilities. So they're just like, really strong
Yeah.
Pokemon that just don't have the abilities you can't get through the normal means. Hidden
Gotcha.
abilities with starters you can't get unless you get an ability patch at like the very end of the game. So it's really hard to obtain that. And sometimes they don't even work on the starters because the game just refuses to let you switch their ability. Um, but as far as that first story, I think that's it. So if you want to go ahead and start off with your second, I'm tossing it to you.
Yeah, man. So my story, I know if you remember, we talked about Microsoft possibly having a streaming stick or a streaming device coming out sometime in the near future. Well, Microsoft just confirmed that this streaming stick actually exists. This article is by Liam Doolin from PureXbox.com, and it goes, Microsoft confirms existence of Keystone, a new Xbox streaming device. Back in March, a Microsoft file data mine revealed a mysterious project codenamed Keystone, which eventually led to a report about Xbox's plans to release a streaming device within the next year. Now, in a statement to Windows Central, Microsoft has officially confirmed Keystone is the game streaming device it's been working on over the past year. Quote, our vision for Xbox Cloud Gaming is unwavering. Our goal is to enable people to play the games they want on the devices they want, anywhere they want. As announced last year, we've been working on a game streaming device codenamed Keystone that could be connected to any TV or monitor without the need for a console. End quote. It's also apparently has made a decision to pivot away from the current iteration of the device and will regroup with a new approach, allowing it to deliver its vision of Xbox Cloud Gaming around the world. Xbox goes on to say, as part of any technical journey, we are constantly evaluating our efforts, reviewing our learnings, and ensuring we are bringing value to our customers. We have made the decision to pivot away from the current iteration of the Keystone device. We will take our learnings and refocus our efforts on a new approach that will allow us to deliver Xbox Cloud Gaming to more players around the world in the future. According to Windows Central, the device could eventually run on a sort of slimmed down Windows or Xbox operating system. The exact timeline for the device also remains unclear, so you shouldn't expect to see it in the immediate future. My question is, and we kind of already touched on this before, but how interested would you be on an Xbox streaming device now that we know it's real? It's probably not going to come out for another, if I had to guess, maybe a year and a half, 2 years. I mean, we've only had the systems for a year and a half now. They came out in November 2020, and so how interested would you be, as someone who probably plays mostly Nintendo Switch and PS5, would you be interested in an Xbox streaming stick?
Yeah, actually, that would make it a lot easier for me to kind of um, keep my consoles in check because where I'm at now, I don't have a lot of room to move all my stuff around. So if I could just real quick, unplug the HDMI, plug this right in, and get to playing instead of setting up a whole nother console, that's perfectly fine by me. I already have Xbox controllers and stuff like that that will most likely be compatible, or at least I hope they'll be compatible with the streaming stick. I just have to set it up. Um,
Right.
it's definitely something that I would look forward to getting. Um, if it's along the lines of what we said last time, where it was like $100, it came with a controller, then it's still not a bad price. Lower than what a console would be. You get a controller that comes with it, and you get access to anything and everything. Xbox games that would be included with like a monthly subscription or something like that.
Right.
You can't
Exactly.
go, yeah, you can't go wrong with that. So it's definitely something that I'll be picking up, for sure.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, I have an Xbox Series X. I plan on getting an Xbox Series S in the near future. Initially, I wanted a Series S because I wanted to be able to run emulators on it. It's a great emulation system. Excuse me. But I also wanted to kind of just put it in my bedroom or put it in the living room instead of in the man cave. I don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love to spend most of my time down here, but sometimes I do need sun. I need some vitamin D. But
Yeah,
and yeah, I'll still get the Xbox Series S. But now with the streaming stick, like if I can just have the Series S, leave it in the man cave. I'll get a streaming stick for the living room, a streaming stick for the bedroom. We're Gucci, as you 20-year-olds like to say. You know what I mean? So
say that, but okay.
but yeah, so yeah, that's something I'm definitely interested in. I'm not interested in it coming with a controller, so hopefully they'll have an option just to buy the streaming stick. Um, because I literally have probably like 6 Xbox controllers. I got 3 Xbox Series X controllers alone, and then I mean I've had an Xbox One forever, so um, yeah, I'm definitely interested in that. Hopefully, again, it all depends on your internet access and all that. I'm pretty sure I'm good to go with that. But hopefully that's for people who have slower internet access. It's not a hurdle. They'll have to pay more just so they can play, um,
Right.
you know, through the cloud essentially. But yeah, that
Right.
was just a small story. I wanted to bring that back up again. That it is actually confirmed now by Microsoft that this streaming stick or streaming device is actually real. And unfortunately, they decided to start over on it according to this article, which is good. I like that Microsoft seems to not be worried about releasing stuff too early or broken. So they are definitely in the mindset of let's make it perfect before we release it. And if they had to start over
Right.
and it takes another couple years, so be it. We'll be all right. So
Yep, for sure. All right. So moving on here to story number three. The Witcher 4 has actually entered pre-production. This does come from IGN.com, written by Ryan Dinsdale. It says The Witcher 4, for lack of an official name, has officially concluded its research phase and has entered pre-production. Confirmed in a CD Projekt Red blog post, the studio looked back on the first quarter of 2022 and revealed that, during this time, it completed its research for the new Witcher game. Adding a little more detail in a developer update video below, which, I mean, I can't really play, um, but basically it's just, the developer update lets us know what's,
right,
happening with the game and all that other stuff. The Project Red executive, I don't know how to say his name. I'm just gonna say Piotr Nielbowitz, sure, said the game has now entered pre-production. In quotes, he says, "We are very eager to revisit the universe which has shaped our history to such an extent," said President Adam Kaczynski. "We have recently concluded the research phase for the first game, The New Witcher Saga, which means that from now on, further development expenditures will be capitalized on our balance sheet. Having only recently entered pre-production means that the new Witcher game is likely still years away, which would make sense. We're probably looking at 2, 3, maybe 4 years,
yeah, I'm
for the
definitely
game will
thinking.
come
I
out."
think even 2 years. If they're in pre-production right now, we're looking at least 4 years, maybe
Yeah.
3, but I'm thinking more like 4 years. So yeah,
Oh
definitely.
yeah. Um, Now, explaining CD Projekt Red only revealed it with a single teaser image, which was, I believe, just um, a mask stuck in snow.
Yeah.
Um, Now, something so small spawned a whole bunch of fan theories. However, centered around the medallion, which led to some believe that The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt's Ciri would be the protagonist of the new game. Whether or not it's a Witcher school, it's still up for debate. Um, and the image was confirmed actually to be a lynx. So it wasn't a mask, it was actually a lynx. So it was a cat, basically.
Okay.
Um, and its head was stuck in snow, so it might actually have been dead. Who knows?
Might be a
Um,
bobcat. Remember that?
but
Remember that
yeah.
video? You ever see that video?
Now, anything else about the game nobody really knows about. That's really the only thing that came out for it. They just, were just like, hey, guess what? Witcher 4 that's probably going to be coming out. And everyone's like, oh, heck yeah. And then they're just kind of like, yeah, but we don't know when.
Right.
So knock it off. Um, and, I personally don't play Witcher a lot. My friends have said that it's a really good game, and
I've
that I
heard the
should
same.
probably
I've
get
never played it, but
myself.
I've heard the same.
Yeah, they're saying that I should probably get myself into it at one point. Um, and recently I have been playing a lot of single player games. I've been like kind of moving away from the multiplayer scene because, as you get older, you're becoming an adult. People have
Yeah.
lives. Not everybody's going to be on all the time.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
so, really immersing yourself in single player games is kind of where, I'm headed. So maybe this will definitely be a grab for me, sometime in the future or whatever.
Right.
Um, that does conclude it for story number 3. Do you have any other stories you want to go on to before I move on?
Yes, sir. So, story number 4. We have Sony. One second. One second. Let me bring it up.
Mhm.
Or so we all know PlayStation Plus. The new PlayStation Plus is releasing here. I think it's June 13th or June 10th, around there. Um, Unfortunately, it's being met. It's already been released in Asia. It's almost like a pre-release to the United States, Japan, Europe, and it's being met with a lot of backlash for a few reasons. So I have two stories. I'm gonna kind of combine them here.
Okay.
The first one is PlayStation Plus classics are badly optimized for PS4 and PS5 for the US. So here's why. The all new PlayStation Plus will allow you to enjoy a whole library of classic games dating back to the original PlayStation console. It was understood that the classics would be making full use of the PS4 and the PS5 hardware for improved and smooth performance. Unfortunately, early impressions are anything but positive. According to a performance analysis conducted by YouTuber, and I can't really, El Analista de Bits, a couple of days back, every
Who?
PlayStation, I don't know, it sounds like some Spanish dude. Let's just say some Spanish dude or some Spanish girl.
Oh,
Every PlayStation 2 has simply been upscaled to 720p for PS4 and PS5. There are also no native versions for PS5, and hence the console has to run the PS4 versions through backward compatibility. Furthermore, every PlayStation 1 game runs at 1440p on PS5, but has been downsampled to 1080p for PS4 since the console does not support that resolution. Um, then, when comparing the PS3 version of Jak and Daxter against the PlayStation Plus versions on PS4 and PS5, the old PlayStation 3 version still looks significantly better with sharper graphics and smoother frame rates, which is sad. Jak and Daxter also tends to drop down to 40 frames per second even on PS5. Toy Story 2, as another example, drops frame rate as well. In fact, none of these classics are able to stick to 60 frames per second. Some PlayStation 2 games find it hard to even hit 30 frames per second on PS5. Seeing the choppy performance of dated PlayStation games on PS5 is telling of how badly the games have been optimized for PlayStation Plus. You may as well get a PlayStation emulator to run the same classic games for better frame rates and higher resolution support. Um, Pretty much it goes on to say if you were upgrading your PS Plus subscription to play your favorite classics with higher resolutions and higher, smoother frame rates, you may want to think again. So, along with this, apparently a lot of the PlayStation Plus classic games are being run in, I believe it's 100 or 90 hertz. I forget exactly what it is. So Europe and the US have different frequencies when it comes to like their televisions.
Right.
a lot of the games that are being ported to PS5 and PS4 for the Classics Collection are the European versions, which means that they won't run right on the American consoles or American TVs.
Right.
Same
Right.
issue happened with the PlayStation Classic when they released the PS1 Mini. Almost, I'd say half the games were the European versions instead of the US versions, and they ran so slow. One of them being Tekken. Tekken's supposed to be a fast paced fighting game, and every time you played it, it was just like in slow motion. They would kick in slow motion, punch in slow motion, and it was horrible. Um, how do you feel about this?
That's to me that is also upsetting. To have to go through and pay more for this subscription just to get subpar gaming.
Agreed.
Um, it's sad. Hopefully, they can get their act together and they can fix it up, and properly get, like a good conversion to where everything works best for everybody. Um, because the way it is, PlayStation could definitely be seeing a downfall in
Yeah,
consumers.
absolutely.
If nothing's changed here, everything is going to just drastically change.
Yeah,
Um, People aren't going to want to buy anything from PlayStation. They're not really going to trust PlayStation's word anymore. They're going to move on. Stuff like this to where it may not affect some people, it'll drastically affect the PlayStation company.
yeah, of
Um,
course. It's like
so
we're paying all this extra money to have these classic games, and if they don't run right, what kind of first of all, people are going to be asking for refunds. I guarantee you
oh
that.
yeah,
So, um, you know, speaking of paying all this extra money, moving on to another PlayStation Plus story. I'm not sure if you heard earlier in the week. Again, this was in Asia, um, and prior to a few months prior, people were stacking their PlayStation Plus subscriptions because what happens is PlayStation Plus is $60 a month or a year, right? So
right,
there was a sale on the PlayStation Plus cards where you can get it for like $30, and people were buying the $30 for a year, but they're buying them 10, 20 at a time, and
oh,
they'll have, you know, freaking 20 years worth of PlayStation Plus for half the
right,
price. Um, with that, they would because Sony is going to essentially you would be upgraded from that tier to the new PlayStation Plus. You know, you're saving money because the new PlayStation Plus costs more. It
right,
was actually PlayStation Now, not PlayStation Plus. They were stacking the PlayStation Now subscriptions. In Asia, when people tried to upgrade to the new PlayStation Plus subscription, Sony was saying that because you got the discounted cards, you cannot upgrade to the new PlayStation Plus tier. And if you want to, you have to pay the difference. So they were charging people, I mean, obscene amounts of money. Everything they saved, they were charging them just so they can, go to the
right,
next PlayStation Plus tier, essentially, like the middle tier, the essential tier.
right,
Now that was a huge backlash, along with the whole, the game's not playing right in the U.S. Sony has essentially backtracked, saying that it was an issue, and not necessarily that they meant to charge them, which I don't believe one bit. But essentially, the article goes: Sony fixes PlayStation Plus subscription pricing error. That wasn't an error. They were intentionally trying to charge these people. Sony's refunding PlayStation Plus users who were forced to pay back discounts in order to upgrade to the new service. Sony's correcting what it says was a technical error, in quotes, that resulted in users being charged a higher than expected price to upgrade to one of the new PlayStation Plus tiers. As the revamped service subscription went live in Asia on May 23rd, some users were reporting anyone trying to upgrade from a subscription they'd purchased at a discount was faced with paying back what they saved initially, plus the upgrade price for a new tier. Essentially, in order for consumers to take advantage of the shiny new PlayStation Plus, Sony was going to get all their money back. There was also a similar situation happening for people who stack PlayStation Now subscriptions. PlayStation Now, which allows which allows streaming of older PlayStation games, currently costs $59.99 per year. Its equivalent tier in the new PlayStation Plus service is priced at $119.99 per year. So in advance of the rollout, players were buying up years worth of subscription cards at the current price in the hope they would save a ton of money when the service rolled over. Not only did Sony temporarily stop players from redeeming those cards, but it looked like anybody who had already stacked years of PlayStation Now subscriptions may have had to pay the difference for all their redeemed time. Something that would add up if they were carrying 10 years worth of time, like some folks apparently were. After 2 days of taking a beating in the court of public opinion, Sony tweeted that it's, and excuse my language, Sony tweeted that its fuck you, pay me pricing situation was a technical error and that players who were overcharged were getting refunds. Additionally, those who stacked their PlayStation Now subscriptions got a handy conversation chart from Sony explaining how much time they would really get for all their pre-purchased subscription cards. The revamped PlayStation Plus service launches in Japan, Europe, and North America in June. So, I don't know what your opinions are on this. Obviously, in my opinion, look, I love Sony. I've been a Sony guy my whole life. I grew up with Nintendo up until about the GameCube. Once they stopped making games for the GameCube, I was Sony all the way. Like, I had a PS1, don't get me wrong. I was fortunate enough that my parents were able to afford a PS1, PS2. I think the first one I bought myself was PS3 right out of college. I remember I graduated. I bought my first car. I drove to Best Buy about an hour away because that was the closest one. I got a credit card. I bought a 46-inch Dynex television from Best Buy and a PS3 bundle with Metal Gear Solid. I'll never forget that day. Anyways, that's beside the point. I've been a PlayStation guy. Their games are amazing. Their single-player narrative games are amazing. But damn it, are they one of the greediest freaking companies I have ever seen in my life. It's like always another freaking story about Sony being this just greedy corporation. How do you feel about this?
It I feel exactly how you feel. They're money grabbers, and it's sad. It's disappointing, because this is another thing that can eventually lead to Sony's downfall. Um,
Right.
they're like, oh, it was an accident. Nobody's believing you. Not a single
Right.
person on the face of this earth is gonna believe you saying that it was an accident. You knew what you were doing, and you decided to screw over the public. And what happened? You lost. You lost miserably, and now you have to pay everybody back. So
Yeah.
they shouldn't
It's
have done it
crazy.
to begin with. They
Yeah.
shouldn't. They
I
shouldn't
agree.
even. It shouldn't have been like a thought in their minds at all, because they knew they were gonna lose it right off the bat. You can't you can't just say, oh, look, guess what? This is on sale, and people jump on it. You're making money on the sale, but then you realize you're losing from your subscription based service. So what do? You jack up the price, and you're like, guess what? You need to pay the difference. That doesn't fly.
Right. Exactly.
Not at all. Um, so this is, hopefully Sony gets their act together, because it's not looking good for them. It is not looking good for Sony at all. And that ties into the, public distrust that I was talking about. Eventually, you're just going to stop losing consumers.
Right.
And when that happens, what are you going to do? You can't do nothing about it.
I agree 100%. And you know what, man? Xbox, look, they say they're for the players, and it feels like it. Don't get me wrong. They are a business as well. They're a corporation. They're all about making money. But when I think of Xbox, I'm like, damn, they're really here for the players. I think of Phil Spencer. He's here for the players. When I think of Sony and Jim Ryan, I think it's like it just feels like another corporation. It doesn't feel like they're for the
Yeah.
players, but yet they're putting out bangers. So what can I say?
Right.
Anyways,
Yeah.
moving on to the next story.
Yeah. So I believe this is the last one, if I'm not
We might have another one after that.
Okay. So
It'll tie in a little
story
bit.
number 4, I believe, or 5, is going to be Horizon Zero Dawn. Series comes in development at Netflix. This comes from Variety.com, written by Jordan Murillo, and it says more Sony video games are in line for the TV treatment. As Sony Picture Entertainment CEO Tony Vinciquerra revealed, in an investor briefing on Thursday that popular PlayStation titles Horizon Zero Dawn and Gran Turismo are the latest games going Hollywood. The Horizon Zero Dawn series, based on the popular video games where robotic dinosaurs roam a post apocalyptic America, is in early development at Netflix, while Gran Turismo, a racing series, hasn't landed a distributor yet and is also in early development. Now, this article does go on and it does list a bunch of other games that could be getting a distributor sometime in the future. Other games that have also been kind of confirmed or talked about being in the works. So in addition to the new projects, Sony did confirm that the God of War series,
Yes,
which was
sir.
first announced in March as being shopped around to Amazon, has landed at the Prime Video streamer.
Yes, sir.
Sony and PlayStation Productions are ramping up their projects based on their popular video games, which was first kicked off with the Uncharted movie starring Tom Holland earlier this year. The next highly anticipated title is going to be The Last of Us, which is coming to HBO.
Yeah,
That
that's
stars
I
Pedro
know that's
Pascal.
gonna be good.
I hope so. I love The Last of Us,
Yeah,
and
me
I mean
too.
that the very first 5 minutes was just tear jerking. They
Bro,
didn't
the
have to
first
do that
one,
to
the first
anyone.
Last of Us, oh my goodness, bro.
Yeah,
Like I
it was
remember
so
playing
good.
that game and there's people watching it with me and they couldn't take their eyes off of it, you know?
Yep. So there's also a Twisted Metal series that's going to be coming based on the vehicular combat video game starring Anthony Mackie, Stephanie Beatriz, Neve Campbell, and Thomas Howden Church, which is going to be oh there it is, Ellie and her
That's
guitar.
right. There it
Um,
is.
the Twisted Metal series is actually going to be coming to Peacock. Um, so like I said, there's a whole bunch of games. The Ghost of Tsushima, which is a
Oh
feature film in the
yes.
works from the John Wick director Chad Stahelski.
Ooh, hold on.
Um,
First of all, I didn't know that. I knew Ghost of Tsushima was one of the ones that was in the works, but the if it has the John Wick director, first John Wick is the shit.
yeah,
Let's start
oh
there.
yeah,
Keanu Reeves is like, I don't really have heroes besides my parents, but if I did, John Wick would be Keanu Reeves would be one of them. That guy is a freaking saint.
yeah, oh yeah. He's a man among men
Oh,
for sure.
I couldn't have put it any better.
Yeah. So the video game actually takes place in feudal Japan. It follows a samurai named Jim Sakai on a quest for revenge during the Mongol invasion. Outside of Sony's realm, other video game adaptations in the works include Amazon's Fallout series, um, Netflix's BioShock movie, and a rumored Mass Effect series at Amazon. Um, a whole bunch of Sony games that are, gonna be coming out or have been in the talks. Is there any of them that you are like really,
Dude,
really ready for?
honestly, I'm ready for all of them because, I mean, the Halo series. Look, let's be honest. Am I optimistic about them? Yes. Do I think they're gonna be like bangers like Game of Thrones or Sons of Anarchy or one of those shows where you're going to watch every Sunday night for 7 years straight? You know what I mean? Maybe not, but Halo, it was okay. I give Halo like a 6 or 7 out of 10. The whole series, it wasn't the best. I don't think they and this is completely different. This is an Xbox property, but I don't think they really played to the fans too well, and I don't think they played to people who don't know Halo too well. So it was kind of they played too much in the middle, and it didn't work. Um, with God of War, oh my goodness, that's the one I'm looking forward to the most. It being on Amazon Prime and knowing the shows that they put out, I know they're gonna they won't hold back. You watch The Boys, they don't hold back. You watch any original property on Amazon Prime, they are known for doing what needs to be done to show that property and give it its best outing. Essentially, you know what I mean? Like they're not going to hold
Right.
back. It's going to be rated mature. It has to be. What I mean? If the game is rated mature, that show has to be rated mature.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima, one I was already excited for it. Night X Tiger said John Wick is awesome, and I agree. That's one of my favorite movies. Like John Wick 3 is so full of action, and there wasn't 1 minute in that movie where I wasn't like just completely enamored by what I was seeing on the screen. And
Right.
then the fact that it ended with what's his name, Morbius, I forget his name, saying, hey John, are you angry, John?" And then John Wick goes, yeah. And then it ends. Like, I'm like, what the hell? I freaking loved it. I freaking loved it. And I can't wait for part four. The fact that he's directing Ghost of Tsushima, you already know this movie's going to be off the hook. It's going to be so much
Oh, yeah.
action. You know, um, Horizon. That movie, I could see it. I mean, it's already written for them. Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West. The story is there for you. And, you know, it doesn't take much to port that story into a show. I could see the
Right.
one girl, I can't remember her name. She was on Game of Thrones and she was the one dude's wife with a redhead in Game of Thrones. I feel like she would be perfect for this show. Um, and then what was the other? Gran Turismo. I don't know if you've watched. I'm not into F1 racing. Our boy Andy, he's super into F1. He almost went down to Miami last month to go see the race. He has the rig in his game room, and you know, I was never into like NASCAR F1 racing. The F1 show on Netflix. It literally took one episode for me to be hooked. They're like 3 or 4 seasons in, and I love it. So I know that they can make Gran Turismo into something special because that show
Right.
F1 is special. Um, Night Tiger X said, "What about Arcane on Netflix? Did you get to see that yet?" I personally haven't, but I have seen previews of it, and honestly, just the art itself, I love the way it looks. I will get to it. There's just so much television and movies to get to these days. Have you seen Arcane? Because I know you're really into anime.
I haven't. Arcane's based off of a video game.
Yeah, League of
Um,
Legends.
yeah, League of
Yeah,
Legends. I haven't even played League of Legends.
me either.
Um,
That's not my type of game, but
yeah.
the anime definitely looks like it's something I'd be into.
Oh yeah, it's definitely it's high quality. I'm probably speaking of, I've kind of run out of anime to watch, so that might
That's one of
actually
them. Yeah,
be something that I'll get into because I'm just now looking through just
something to
garbage
look
rated
for.
shows, and
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully that they're good. But yeah, that would be something that I can go ahead and check out.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I'm so interested. Even the what was the Twisted Metal show with Anthony Mackie? Look, that show's made. It's gonna be perfect for Peacock. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Um, I don't think it's gonna be great. I feel like if it's Twisted Metal, I think it needs to be on a Netflix or a Amazon Prime, and it has to be rated mature. Like you can't do
Yeah.
Twisted Metal and it be PG-13. It's just not going to work. But I hope I'm wrong. I don't know. I really do. I have a question for you. What game? Oh, and also then The Last of Us. I can't wait for that. That's going to be so dope. What game? Doesn't matter. It could be Switch, PlayStation, Xbox. That hasn't already been announced as a show or movie. Would you like to see it become a show or a movie? Putting you on the spot.
Yeah. Wow. So one of the ones that I've actually been waiting for, and it's been kind of confirmed, but also kind of like up in the air. It's really weird. That's what's been happening to it. But the Five Nights at Freddy's
Mm,
movie, because Five Nights at Freddy's was a game that I could really get immersed into that had that horror aspect.
right.
Um, and it was a mechanical game. You had to be able to move and know exactly what you were doing to kind of survive. Um, the horror was there,
Wait,
and if
didn't they
they're
come
able
out with
to,
a Five Nights at Freddy's show?
I don't know. See, I don't know. I
I
don't know
thought
if
they
the
did.
movie's out or if the shows, because there was there's games that came out. The new game, the Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex, was the new game, which takes place over top of the original Freddy Fazbear location. Um,
Okay.
but the lore that Scott Cawthon has laid out for the FNAF series is incredible. Um, Everything ties into one another. The games, if you're not paying attention, you're not going to realize it, but all the games tie into each other one way or another.
So there is
Um,
a Five Nights at Freddy's show.
There is?
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even know that, but it
Neither
had
did
four
I.
seasons. Wow, I'll
What's
have
it
to
on?
definitely. I don't know. I don't know if it's like a. It's very. I have no idea. I have to find out. But apparently, there's four seasons on it. But we'll have to find it, man.
Yeah. Well, I guess that kind of throws that question out. What the heck?
Well, I got two. Night Tiger X said Duke Nukem and Mega Man, which Mega Man already had a cartoon back in the day. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
Duke Nukem has, but Duke Nukem would be dope. I got two games in my possession right now that I think would be great freaking shows. I could definitely see a Grand Theft Auto.
Yes.
Yeah, buddy, that's the original PlayStation Grand Theft Auto right there. Or Grand Theft Auto London, that's season 2 right there. Grand Theft Auto London. A Grand Theft Auto show. That has to be rated mature. But one that I would really love to see is Metal Gear Solid. Could you
Oh my
imagine
god.
a Metal Gear Solid TV show? And what's his name? Man, who's the creator of Metal Gear Solid? I don't remember. I know you know. Come on, you got this.
I don't.
Um, um, Kojima. Kojima. I got it. Yes,
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima. That man is a huge fan of cinema and movies because I actually follow him on Twitter, and every other tweet is him, shouting out a director or an actor, and then he puts a lot of his, love of cinema into his games. If you actually
Right.
follow some of his games, you'll see a lot of that in there. I think that would be a great show. But yeah, that's what I think. So Duke Nukem, definitely. I would love to see Duke Nukem because that would be a funny, it'll be almost like The Boys in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
just to kind of tag on to that story that you have about God of War. God of
Hmm.
War seems like it's actually God of War Ragnarok seems like it's going to come out in 2022.
Oh,
This
okay.
last article I have here, it says God of War Ragnarok appears as if as it will hit its 2022 release window. With still not all that much shown from God of War Ragnarok and its big Xbox rival Starfield delayed into 2023, a delay announcement for the sequel seemed imminent. However, it appears that it's not going to be the case. According to a recent development, God of War Ragnarok has now been rated by the Korean Ratings Board, which means there's a game to rate, and it seems unlikely this would be happening if we were still pushing another 9 to 12 months to release after another delay. If it
Right.
hits holiday 2022 window, we could see God of War Ragnarok out anywhere from September to December. So I'm excited, bro. For me, God of War is one of my honestly top 3 games. Spider-Man Miles Morales is probably my favorite game of all time. It's up for debate, and we'll make a video about that one of these days. Top 10 video games,
Yeah.
so you guys be tuned for that. But God of War, 2018, definitely top 3 games of all time for me. God of War Ragnarok, I guarantee you, the moment I know this game is coming out, I am putting in 2 days at my job, and hopefully, if it comes out on Friday, I'm playing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm streaming it all. So I'm super excited for this. The last time, the reason people are excited is because when South Korea usually rates a game, it's pretty imminent that's going to come out. The last time they rated a game of this magnitude was Horizon Forbidden West.
Right.
They rated it in December, I believe it was November, December of last year, and it came out in February. So if that's the case, 2 or 3 months. It's May right now,
Yeah.
June, July. I don't think it's going to come out in July. I feel like that's a little too soon since we haven't seen,
Yeah.
there hasn't been no PR about it. There hasn't been anything shown. But I honestly feel a September, October release is very possible for God of War, and I am in there like swimwear for this game, man. I cannot wait.
Ooh.
But that's all I got, bro.
Yeah, all right. So that's it for his stories. That's it for my stories. Um, as always, if you guys, can't tune in live,
That's
we
right.
are going to be on any and every podcasting services. You can listen to us on the road, in the shower, when you're taking a dump, so be it. Wherever you're at, just listen to us. Give us a 5-star rating. Get us up there. We will probably be on YouTube within an hour or two, if
Yes,
not
sir.
sometime in
Absolutely.
the morning.
Now it'll be
Um,
today. It'll definitely be today.
today. All
Catch us
right,
on
so go
YouTube
ahead and
today at youtube.com/the entertainment plaza. You catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, any podcast that you listen your podcast services to will be there.
yes, sir. So I think that's it from me and from Mo. We're looking good and we're feeling good. You guys have a great rest of your afternoon. Peace.
You guys have a great afternoon. But first, before we leave, congratulations to you, Brian, man. You graduated from college. Man, congrats, bro. I love you. I'm so proud of you. I
Thank you.
can't
Thank
believe you
you.
did it. I know it was tough. You know, it started out
Yes,
rough for
sir.
you, but man, I'm so glad you stuck with it. I can't be any happier for you, bro. I love you. Congrats.
Love you
But
too,
now
man.
we'll
Thank
sign
you very
off.
much.
Peace.
Deuces.